Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review on a rather windy day. Today I'm going to be reviewing this fella, Rattler Original, from healesciders.co.uk. A Cornish cider, 6% cloudy cider, although if that's cloudy, I've had beers that you can't see through. So. Oh my door. Fucking wind. Pardon my French. So, just on the front garden, looking good, as it should do, being as I'm a gardener. And so, slightly hazy pour rather than being cloudy. Good lacing around the edge, little white head. I might have to shut that door in a minute. Apple on the nose, as you would expect. I think I got a bit of sediment out the bottom of the glass then, but there you go. So yeah, that's yeah, good apple on the nose. Oh, nice twang to it. Easy going so far. So yeah. Let's have a look. Oh no. Sharp, there we go. I'm over 18, yes, thank you. So you got Cornish Gold is one of theirs. Obviously Rattler. Rattler Gin and Brandy as well now. Cornish Scrumpy. And they've also got wines and all sorts of things. Jams, preserves, sauces. Oh, so it's nice. It's oh my God, flipping raining there. It's sunny and yet there's rain. We are having the strangest weather. Luckily it's blowing over quite quickly. Got the dog outside, don't want him getting wet. So I've had this before. A friend of mine went to Cornwall and actually brought me 3 bottles back. Yeah, it's refreshing. It's you don't see a lot of ciders coming from Cornwall, if anywhere. Usually it's Herefordshire. Not that I know where Herefordshire is, but should do really, shouldn't I? Want a bottle with bite, named after the feisty Cornish Rattler apple and blended with Healey's know-how. Our Rattler cider has the crisp, fresh flavour you crave. Chill it, sip it, love it. Chill it, wolf it down, love it. And the sun's out again and the rain's gone. Oh, we're having some funny weather. I think I'm having some funny everything, aren't we, at the moment? So I suppose funny weather only really goes in with what's happening around the country. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do about holidays this year. You might as well camp out in your own garden. Because going abroad, I don't know. 2020, the year that wasn't. I'm glad it's not a big birthday for me this year. Then again, every birthday's a downhill, isn't it? You know, the older you get, you don't want another birthday. Like, well, you do want another birthday, but you don't want to be celebrating it in like 50, 60. Yeah, nice twang in the taste. Easy going, 6%. Doesn't really taste like a 6%er to me. Not at the moment anyway. But a lot of these, you know, they hit you later on. And that's when you really feel it. So I've just got to the back garden there. keeping busy today. Wife's doing cakes. It's funny, at the start of the lockdown, everybody cancelled all the cakes. I think everyone was scared stiff, not knowing what's coming next. And now the cakes are being ordered at a rate. She's got 1 or 2 a day. So it's good for her because it's a little bit of income coming in. With my birthday coming up soon, I want a decent presser. Although, it's funny with me, I'd rather see other people have presents and have a great time than myself. I'm not overly fussed about myself, but as long as the family get a good birthday and Christmas, you know, then I'm happy. If I can afford what I can afford, then you know, that gives me the happiness, not the necessity of getting something decent for my birthday. And as you get older, it's a thing. I mean, especially when you've been together as long as we have, it gets harder to buy for birthdays and Christmases because we know what we don't want. I mean, I'm not interested at all in jewellery. Not interested. I've got 2 or 3 bottles of aftershave. That's enough. We're not going out these days anyway, so wearing it's a waste of time these days. Obviously, you wear deodorant. That's a given. I'm not overly fussed about new clothes. Loads of clothes from America trips when I went to America, and even though the last time I went to America was 2013, bought that many decent designer clothes then. And plain ones, you know, nothing gaudy or like that. So they're still relevant now. They still look good now, even 7 years on. Strange how some fashions age very quickly, and other fashions are still relevant today. You know, some of the bonkers fashions go out very quickly. But a plain T-shirt, you know, one from 20 years ago probably still would look good today. And that's the funny thing about fashions. So with me, being a beer reviewer, the only really thing to get me is let me order, go on somewhere like Ocado, somewhere like that anyway, and put in the basket, you know, loads of beers that I've never had, and if she can afford it, keep taking them off until it gets to a price that she can afford. And for me, that's it. Every beer's a present, every beer's a review. I don't waste beer reviews now. I don't drink willy-nilly unless I've got 2 of. Then I don't mind. I mean, the other day my mate came round and social distancing, of course, and we had a drink and not seen each other for 8 weeks. And you know, yes, the rules say you can only meet one person outside of this lockdown, but they're all doing it. I see everyone doing it, and yes, it's probably naughty, but people are still being good. But just maybe having somebody in the garden and having a chat. And it's something like going to the park and bumping into somebody on a park. And, you know, you're told to go to work and work with people. Hopefully there'll be some relaxing. Once the death rate starts to drop down quite a bit more, because obviously it's still 300 and something, which is still a lot of people dying. And I see some people and it's like, yeah, it's not going to get us. I watched it when I was in I was sitting outside the Chinese last night, sitting there, and there's people, and they're so... The attitude comes across as like, yeah, stuff it, we're not going to get it. And, well, who knows? I mean, one fatal move, you just don't know, and that's the scary thing. You could pick something up, rub your bloody eye, or touch your mouth, doing, you know, go like that, touch your lips, and then all of a sudden you've got it. And then they're saying they're working on vaccines, but they may never have a vaccine. And that's a scary thing, isn't it? I mean, was it produced by governments to get rid of a certain population, and the people that cost like the NHS the most? People, well, look at care homes. I mean, they cost the government a lot of money, and well, they cost society money, and it does make you wonder if you know, the conspiracy theories are right. Or it could just be that it's a very unlucky virus, but it does make you wonder, and it will never come out, because what country would want to put their hands up to it, developing something that has killed, you know, nearly 500,000 people worldwide. There's a lot of people dead, and it hasn't even ravaged like the African countries yet. A lot of them, you know, and hopefully they'll discover something that just kills it off. There's something out there. It's got to be out there. Yeah. So, a little homebrew update while we're reviewing this cider. Lifted the lid on this last night, and there has been a funny smell with this. This is the lager that I brewed. And there's been a funny smell with it all the way along, and I thought, I'm going to have to bin that. It's got a rancid smell. Put the hops in, and I don't know if that's why the hops are there to make it, but all of a sudden it's smelling like a proper decent lager. So just goes to show you sometimes with brewing, these red wines are still bubbling away doing their thing, and the ginger wines are still bubbling away, and slowly, and I do mean slowly, doing their thing as well, fermenting away. At some stage I'm having a load of wine, and I might have to calm down on the brewing for a bit. I mean, I've now got 6 bottles of port brewed, 6 bottles of ginger wine, or maybe five and a bit now, because I had a good. Last night I was stressed. We've got a problem with rats underneath the decking, or at least using our decking as a walkway from the next door's gardens, which are overgrown and good places for rats to hide in. Whereas mine is a cultivated garden, so it's not easy. But they use they can get in easier. And we had problems near our bins. It just goes to show you that your bins, don't ever leave the lid of your bin on. You know, make sure it's always put down. Don't leave bags on the floor. Good housekeeping, because these little shizzlers got into my house last year, and I sorted that out in the end. Put cemented gauze around the air bricks so there's still airflow, and that. And I've noticed some digging there, so I deployed rat traps again, and then I got some weatherproof blocks. Over the last few weeks, weatherproof blocks were going, one or two at a time, and then over 3 days, loads went, and I thought, bloody hell, you know, because you don't know if you've got an infestation. So the other day, I actually went out and bought some decent rat killer. It cost me £5 for the privilege, for 8 blocks. Put it down, and that was yesterday. They took them straight away. They took them. I thought, and then I put another 3 of a different variety down, and they've not touched them, and they've been signed since. So it just goes to show you, you know, sometimes. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully my anxiety levels can drop back down again. Every time I walk by that particular part of the decking, obviously the dog can't get to them because, you know, don't hurt our dog. And that particular part of the decking there, I look down and see them there, and it's like a reassurance. It's like, yes, you fuckers. Yeah. Don't ever want to ever go through that situation again. But now, it's like, sometimes forewarned is forearmed. Now, I'm ready. If them blocks go, I'll just keep deploying different rat killers until I've spragged the little shits. But I think it's going to be an ongoing problem. We had 9 years with no problems whatsoever with our decking. And then all of a sudden, it seems to be, it's coincided with two gardens here being worked on by their owners, and they've obviously been forced out, and they're using the, see, obviously mine's a good garden, it's full of plants, and they could be using that as somewhere to congregate again. Not for long. And obviously I've got the bare room, and obviously underneath there's a perfect place for even a fox to get underneath. So I have to be mindful of that as well. Little things like that you just don't think about with gardens, and it just goes to show you that what's out there. So, good twang with this. Really good apple flavour. Still not getting the strength though. But yeah, it's going down a treat, and it's helping me chill out, and that's where beer, lager, cider, you know, what all alcohol is there to do. If you're feeling a bit stressed, have a drink, see if you can chill out. Don't go too crazy, obviously, because getting pissed is not a good thing, you know. The after effects are just too much. I hate waking up with an hangover, it's bloody horrible. As Saturdays go, it's a crap Saturday because obviously the weather's rubbish. This wind is starting to slow down though, so that's a good thing. I want to jump in the hot tub later, and tomorrow I want to try and put my gazebo up and see what's the damage to the roof of the gazebo, and see if I can tape it up or do something, or even super glue. I've got a load of super glue as well, so I might try and super glue the joins and stuff, just to see if that works. You try anything, don't you? You know. And lesson learnt. Won't be doing that again. As soon as I see that, I'll just have to keep my eye on the wind. And luckily, after today, the wind's dropping right down, and back to, you know, just a gentle breeze, which is okay. How long have I been chatting? 17 minutes. I do apologise. What you get with all my reviews, you sometimes get a standard review, and it lasts about 5 minutes. Most of the spirit reviews are like that. But when it comes to beers, lagers and ciders, I just rattle on, because it takes time to drink a pint. I look at other reviewers, and they can do a review in 3 minutes, and you're like, bloody hell, you've done well to drink that in 3 minutes. When you're in a pub, you're there, you're having the pint, you're taking the pint in, you're having a chat. So really, all my reviews are basically like a virtual pub, really, where I chat rubbish. Go on about life. Tomorrow, definitely going to Marks and Spencer's, and also want to, while we're there, B&M's next door in Netherfield in Nottingham, and I think we'll do a B&M run, see what's happening inside, see if there's any new beers in there as well. So I might have 2 new beer haul videos, because you never know. With B&M, I may, because even if there's some 4-packs and they're cheap enough, I might buy 4-packs just to get the review cred, as it were. So I'm starting to feel this now. That 6% starting to get to me. Not tanked, but I certainly can feel it. Trying to get all the work done today, so that on the 2 decent days of the weekend I can chill out in the garden, drink some beer, do some hot tubbing, and just love a bit of life. And it's always the thing, isn't it, you know, if you've got the money, building yourself something like this, like a beer room, a man cave, or a woman cave even. Because let's be fair, women like beer as well, just as much as blokes do. And to have something at the bottom of your garden where you can just chill out from the kids, because the kids are in the house. I've got a 23-year-old upstairs. He's sat there, 24 this year he is, wow. Yeah, he's just sat upstairs on his computer, watching anime and doing gaming. Got the 9-year-old upstairs, he's on the Switch, gaming, watching YouTube. Wife's doing cakes. So everyone's doing like their own thing. But it's good because you're not there bored out your brains. And, you know, there's something to be said for computers in this day and age. And especially at the moment with webcams and that. The ability to talk to somebody on the other side of the world and keep them keep their mental health going with them, knowing that you're alive, you know that they're alive, and you know, technology is a great thing at times. Definitely. So, slightly hazy pour, golden pour, obvious apple on the nose. Apple on taste, it is crisp and refreshing, got a little bite to it, hence that Rattler name with the snake, you know, thing. And but overall, decent cider that goes down a treat. The strength is definitely hitting me now, and overall, very nice cider. So, good, right good twang then at the end, drinking quite a bit in one go.